I saw what was in my student's backpack, and it almost gave me a heart attack. I was lucky enough to have my daughter in my class when she got to 9th grade, but also had another kid who would constantly bug her. He was always trying to flirt with the girls in my class, which ended with them slapping him on numerous different occasions. I sent him to the office so many times that he had to sit in the front, but one day he practically begged me to sit in the back. I don't know why, but I said yes. We were in the middle of an assignment, and our entire class was silent, when at one point I could hear whispering coming from the back. I looked up, and all I saw was him showing another student what at first glance looked like a handgun. It honestly took me a second to process what I had just seen. I didn't have a clear enough view to be sure, and I just sat there trying to stay calm. I knew I had to get a better look, so I stood up to go help one of my students. Now, I was sure. It wasn't a toy. It was real. I remember my sweat literally dripping off my face and tried my hardest not to pass out. My hands were shaking like crazy while I dialed 911 on my phone, but it was too quiet to say anything. I couldn't just walk out of the room. I had to keep my students safe and knew I had to get my daughter out of there. I texted our assistant principal in all caps exactly what I had just seen and waited minutes for a response. Eventually, I knew I couldn't wait, so I called that same girl over to my desk. I wrote her a note that said, "Ask me to use the bathroom, go get the assistant principal, get him to check his phone, and leave the school immediately." I tried to keep a calm look on my face, but she could see something was horribly wrong. She left without saying anything, and I tried to act like everything was normal. 5 excruciating minutes later, he knocked on the door. He walked inside and started chatting with a few students, acting as if nothing was wrong. I think they started to catch on something was going on too, and eventually he asked the boy to come out into the hall with him. He stood up, and those few seconds as he walked by my daughter to the door were the most terrifying of my life. As soon as he stepped out, he was tackled to the ground. Apparently, he was planning to use it on another student that lunch, and since then, I homeschool my daughter.